Something in the spiritual realm just shifted, and Archangel Michael says your name is now written into a divine contract. Not someday. Not in the distant future. Today. A sacred agreement has been made in heaven, and this message is your confirmation. You may not see the change yet, but your soul can feel it. That sudden pull in your heart, that inner stillness you couldn't explain, that whisper of hope right before you opened this video, it was all leading here. There are moments when heaven releases new instructions. Quietly. Powerfully. Without needing the world's permission. And right now, one of those moments has arrived. A divine contract means your spiritual assignment has been authorized. It means a decision has been made by the Most High to activate what's been dormant inside you. Every prayer, every tear, every moment of surrender, it has been accounted for. And now, God has declared it time. Maybe you've been waiting, wandering, feeling overlooked while others stepped into their purpose. But Archangel Michael wants you to know, this delay wasn't denial. It was preparation. Because the contract that just received your name carries weight, responsibility, light. It isn't just about you, it's about everyone your life will touch when you finally rise into what you were created for. And erase the mystery, you didn't have to apply for this contract. You were chosen. You didn't have to prove your worth. Heaven already knew who you were before you were born. That's why your name was written in. Not because you're perfect, but because you were appointed. This is what alignment looks like. Not effort. Not performance. But surrender. You might feel unqualified. But the truth is, most chosen souls do. Because this kind of calling humbles you. You sense its weight before you understand its shape. You feel the pressure before the clarity. That's how divine purpose arrives. It shows up in discomfort before it shows up in destiny. And right now, whether you realize it or not, your life is stepping into sacred territory. Archangel Michael says the signing of this contract means spiritual resources have been released on your behalf. Angels assigned. Energies cleared. Hidden enemies removed. You are no longer moving alone. And that deep heaviness you've been carrying? It's lifting, because now, heaven is carrying it with you. Not everything will change overnight. But the atmosphere around you already has. This contract is more than protection. It's permission. To grow. To heal. To speak. To move. To release the version of you that's been shrinking. And to become the version that was always meant to rise. You're not here to repeat your past. You're here to fulfill your assignment. The one God just approved. The one heaven just sealed. The one that now has your name on it. You may begin to notice things feel different from this point on, not because the world around you changed instantly, but because you have changed spiritually. When a divine contract is signed in heaven, the soul begins to realign. You become more sensitive to what's no longer for you. You feel a deeper pull toward what is. Certain people may begin to drift away, and you might feel called to places you can't fully explain. Don't resist it. This is the energy of spiritual agreement unfolding in real time. Archangel Michael says some doors are closing now, not as punishment, but as divine redirection. The contract you've stepped into requires space. Space for clarity. Space for sacred encounters. Space for revelation. You may even feel lonely for a moment, but that emptiness is not a void, it's a room being prepared for the next version of you. And don't be surprised if memories begin to surface, old wounds, forgotten promises, moments that shaped you. They're returning not to hurt you, but to free you. This contract is not built on your pain. It's built on your healing. You are not being asked to carry the weight of your past anymore. Instead, you're being handed the authority to transform it. Archangel Michael wants you to understand, this isn't just a new season, it's a spiritual assignment. It has timelines, sacred timing, divine partnerships, even obstacles that will appear. But every step of it has been written into the contract that now bears your name. That means nothing can block what God has authorized. Not doubt. Not fear. Not failure. Not the opinions of others. You are now walking with invisible backing. You may not see the angels, but they've been briefed on your journey. You may not hear heaven speak audibly, but every step you take in alignment with your purpose will carry supernatural weight. You were chosen for something larger than comfort. Something deeper than survival. Something holy. This is why your spirit is stirring right now. Because even if your mind hasn't fully caught up, your soul remembers what it agreed to long before you were born. That sacred mission. That divine fire. That purpose that won't let go of you even when you try to run. This is your activation point. The moment heaven said, "Now," you didn't find this message by chance. Something higher guided you here because your soul was ready to remember. Archangel Michael says this divine contract isn't about religion, perfection, or performance. It's about alignment, a moment when heaven reveals what has always been destined for you. Even if you've made mistakes. Even if you've drifted. Even if you've doubted. None of it disqualified you. In fact, it prepared you. Every delay trained your discernment. Every heartbreak opened your compassion. Every rejection taught you to stand when no one clapped. All of it was shaping the version of you that could carry this calling. The pain didn't break you, it refined you. And now, it's part of your anointing. The divine contract was signed today not because you're perfect, but because you're ready. Ready to speak when heaven prompts you. Ready to walk even when the path isn't clear. Ready to rise in your truth without needing everyone to understand. Ready to become a vessel of purpose, light, and healing. You are not just receiving this message, you are living it. From this moment on, don't be surprised when your words begin to carry weight they didn't carry before. When strangers are drawn to you. When the right people suddenly begin to appear. This is what alignment looks like. It's not loud. It's not dramatic. It's divinely ordered. Archangel Michael reminds you, this is not the end of your story. This is the signature on a new chapter. The part where heaven partners with your destiny and begins to move things quickly. You may feel stretched. You may even feel afraid. But trust this, heaven wouldn't place your name on a divine contract unless the angels knew you were equipped to carry it. You have what it takes. Even if you can't see it yet, God can. There will be moments when doubt creeps in. That's normal. But in those moments, come back to this truth, your name was written in heaven today. Not because of who you used to be, but because of who you are becoming. And that becoming starts now, and now, everything begins to align with a different frequency. People who once overlooked you will sense the shift, even if they don't understand it. Opportunities that once passed you by will now circle back, because the energy around you is no longer the same. Archangel Michael says your signature in the spiritual realm has changed. You're no longer walking as someone hoping for purpose. You're walking as someone sealed in it. This contract isn't something you carry alone. It's carried by the strength of angels, by the breath of God, and by the prayers of those who came before you. Generations that sacrificed without ever seeing the fruit, they paved the way for this exact moment in your soul's timeline. That's how deep this goes. That's how sacred your presence is. You may feel moments of overwhelming emotion. That's not weakness, it's activation. Your spirit is waking up to the memory of who you were before the world told you to shrink. Before pain tried to define your worth. Before silence buried your voice. But now, that voice is being restored. That light is returning. That power is reawakening. Archangel Michael says this isn't the time to doubt yourself. This is the time to trust the divine decision that was made on your behalf. You didn't ask for this message out of curiosity, your spirit pulled it into your path because it already knew. That today, something would shift. That today, something would sign your name. That today, you would remember who you are. From this point on, walk with intention. Choose peace. Honor your intuition. Release what no longer reflects the version of you that God is calling forward. You don't need to rush. The contract has already been written. The angels have already been assigned. Your only role now is to show up as the version of yourself heaven signed off on. Because when Archangel Michael says your name was written into a divine contract today, it means your next chapter is not waiting. It's already here. This divine contract may be invisible to the human eye, but its effects will become impossible to ignore. You'll start to see signs, unmistakable confirmations that you've stepped into something sacred. Dreams that feel more real than waking life. Conversations that feel divinely timed. A sense of protection even in chaos. That's how heaven marks those it has chosen. Subtle at first. Then undeniable. Archangel Michael says, you will not be the same. The contract that bears your name also carries transformation. Your mindset will shift. The things that used to trigger you will lose their power. Old habits will start falling away, not through force, but through clarity. Because when your soul remembers its agreement, it naturally starts rejecting everything that doesn't align with it. You'll notice your hunger for truth increase. Your tolerance for spiritual noise decrease. You'll start to crave depth, peace, alignment, not as a trend, but as a necessity. That's the contract speaking through you. That's purpose becoming your compass. And the more you walk in that truth, the more you'll see that your life is no longer random. It's ordered. This isn't about being better than anyone. It's about being faithful to the version of yourself heaven sees. You don't have to force anyone to understand you now. You're not here to explain, you're here to embody. The light. The mission. The authority. The quiet strength that comes from knowing you've been appointed, not by man, but by God. And even on the days when you feel unworthy, Archangel Michael reminds you, your name is still on the contract. It doesn't disappear because of fear. It doesn't tear because of mistakes. God doesn't revoke what was written in faith and sealed in grace. So walk boldly. With reverence. With humility. With the unshakable knowing that your assignment has already been approved. What happens next will not just affect you. It will ripple through generations. Because when one person steps into their divine agreement, the healing stretches beyond time. You are not just rising for yourself. You're rising for everyone who couldn't. Everyone who prayed. Everyone who hoped someone in the bloodline would awaken. And now, you have. If something inside you stirred while listening to this message, don't ignore it. Like this video to honor the moment your spirit recognized truth. Subscribe now to stay connected with more divine confirmations meant for your journey. Comment below if you feel this contract was meant for you. Your words might unlock healing for someone else. And if you believe this message carried the voice of something higher, tap on super thanks to support the continued release of messages that awaken souls just like yours. This isn't just content. It's a calling. And you didn't arrive here by accident. You arrived because heaven signed your name.